got somebody who is an antiseptic for our aches. B, a balm for our bruises. C, a cure-all for our calamities. D, deliver us from our dilemmas. E, erase all of our errors. F, forgive all of our failures. G, give us grace for our grief. H, healing for our hurts. I, identifies with our infirmities. J, give us joy over our jealousies. K, knowledge when we knock down. L, he's our leader when we lost. M, give us mercy for our mess. M, give us mercy for our mistakes. M, give us mercy for our mishaps. N, he's near when we need him. O, he's online when we overwhelm. He's our partner. In a peril, our quiet. In a quarrel, our redeemer when we return. S, he's our savior when we're sinking. Our teacher when we're in trouble. Understanding when we're undecided. Our voice when we're vocal. Our wall when we're weary. Our x-ray when we examine. Our yardstick when we're yearning. And our zeal when we're zealous. If I had time, I would have told y'all that. If I had time this morning, I would tell y'all that God can make a difference. If you ask Abraham, Abraham would tell you that God can make a difference. Even though you're old and didn't have blue pills yet, when God says you're going to have a child, yeah, you better buy some Similac and some Pampers. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to tell y'all. B, that Barnabas would tell you that God would be your consolation. I don't have time to tell y'all that. C, Cornelius would tell you that God will include those who are rejected, and he'll bring them on the inside. If I had time, I'd tell you D, about Daniel. Daniel would tell you that God would be your zookeeper in a lion's den. If I had time, I would tell y'all about E, Elijah. Elijah would tell you, even though you're outnumbered, when you got God on your side, you're still in the majority. If I had time, I'd tell y'all F, about Felix and Festus. They'll tell you that your hands are too short to box with God. If I had time, I would tell you about Gideon. Gideon, the Lord was Gideon's fleece. I would tell you, H, about Hezekiah. Hezekiah would tell you, God, when you do right, God will add years to your life. If I had time, I'd tell you about Isaiah. Isaiah would tell you that the Lord is the one that was promised who would come to be wounded for our transgression and bruised for our iniquity. If I had time to tell you, I would tell you all about Jonah. Because Jonah would tell us about the mercy of God. Even though Jonah let God down, he went the other way. God had a whale to swallow him up. That's Matthew 12, verse number 40 and following. He had a whale to swallow him up. And listen, and I want y'all to know that was a whole lot of mercy because that whale vomited him up on dry ground. But the thing about the mercy of God was, you see, you got to understand, he went in one way. God didn't have to allow him to come back out the same way he went. But that would have been a mess. That would have been a mess. So anyway, King David will tell you that the Lord will be your shepherd. Lydia will tell you that the Lord will open your heart. Moses will tell you that God will be there with you. With a rod and standing there before Israel, God will open up a way out of no way. Nehemiah will tell you God will be your contractor. Onesimus will tell you God will be your freedom. And Priscilla and Aquila will tell you that God will be with you to show people the way more perfectly. Rahab will tell you God will put you through rehab because only God can take a trick and make her a tree. Stephen will tell you, I'm going to leave this alone. Stephen will tell you that the Lord will never forsake you. Even though things are hard, God will stand up for you. Timothy will tell you God will be your teacher. Uriah will tell you that God will be your vindication. W, the woman at the well, will tell you God will be your living water. V, Vashti will tell you God will be your courage. W, the woman at the well, he'll be your water. X, Xerxes will tell you God will be your decision. Why? Yahweh's people will tell you God will never forsake you. He was a cloud, pillar cloud by day, pillar fire by night. And Z, Zacchaeus will tell you that God will bring you down from a tree when you're up on a limb and bring salvation to your house. I said, if I had time, I would tell you all of that, but I don't have time for all of that. But when I do have time, brothers, I'm going to tell y'all this. A, although things are not perfect. B, because of trial and pain. C, continue in thanksgiving. D, don't ever begin to blame. E, even though times get tough. F, fierce winds are going to blow. G, God is forever able. H, brothers, hold on to what you know. I, imagine life without his love. J, joy would cease to be. K, keep thanking God for all things. L, that love imparts to thee. M, move out of the camp of complaining. N, no weapon that is known. O, on earth can yield the power. P, that praise can do alone. Q, quit worrying about tomorrow. R, redeem the time at hand. S, start every day with thanksgiving. T, to thank God is a command. U, until you see him coming. V, victorious in the sky. W, we must run this race with patience. X, exalting God on high. Y, yes, there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad. Z, but remember this, go counterculture, because Zion awaits where none are ever sad. God bless you, brothers. God bless you. Let us be mindful now. Let's make a difference now. Let us leave this place with a renewed mindset that we're going to make a difference. We're going to make a difference in those we come in contact with. We're going to make a difference for those we're responsible for. We can be what God has called us to be. Let us, brothers, have a renewed mind. Let us sacrifice our bodies to God and allow God to use us for his glory and for his honor. God bless you, brothers. May the Lord keep you, is my prayer. I would hate to dismiss and let this lesson go without maybe perhaps as we prepare ourselves, we're gonna pray. Maybe there's a brother with us who stands in need of a special prayer. Maybe there's something that you're going through. Maybe there's some burden, some obstacle that you're going through you have to deal with. We have to understand as brothers, there's strength in numbers. And we can come together and unite together and lift up that request to God. What a mighty act that can be on our behalf. And so if there's somebody who has a special request, I want you to be mindful of the fact that the Bible still says the effectual, fervent prayer of the righteous, it availeth much. It does a lot of good. Prayer does a lot of good. Prayer can lift a heavy burden. Prayer helps us understand that we have a lifeline to heaven. And when times get tough, the only thing we have to do is just call them up in prayer. And we know that the Lord will be right there. If there's somebody here today, brothers, with a special request on the heart, whatever the case is, you can let your request be known.